So there's a couple ways we could approach this problem. When we see in the sample, notice it's random. They'll always say that because otherwise we can't draw conclusions about the population if the sample wasn't random. But they're saying 152 out of the 200 have read at least one book. If we're going to extrapolate that data to 255 million US adults and figure out how many have not read a book in the past 12 months, I would say two primary approaches. To me, the easier of the two would be making this specific ratio consistent with the goal that we have. In other words, if our goal is to figure out how many did not read a book, well, if 152 out of 200 did, then we're essentially looking for the complement, right? So 200 minus 152. So we could say 48 out of 200 US adults did not read at least one book, which means that they have not read a book, right? Then we could extrapolate that to the overall population and say, well, how many of the 255 million, because notice the units essentially for the sample were just in single individuals, right? 48 people, not million. So we need to be accurate there and put the million with the 255. So we could go ahead and cross multiply and divide by 200. And then when we put that in our calculator, 48 times 255 and then 6 zeros. And then we're going to divide by 200. We get about, we could throw in our commas here. Obviously we don't have to, we can see that it's clearly B because of the first couple numbers, but we get about 61 million and then 200,000. Now another way you could have done it, let's say you did 48 divided by the 200, that gives you a percentage, and you could just do of, which means to multiply those 255 million, and you get the same answer.